That is the circuit pin out on how you can put them together between the RTC and the Arduino board. I've just provided that. Following the circuit diagram provided and the direction provided and use the correct parts, write program code Java using Python. You can use Python on that for the sensors and develop an achievement for productive data for low-cost sensor. Upload the code IDE strictly when you're using Arduino products, most times. Thank you. I shall provide a code for interfacing components in the slides. Thank you for your time. So we are going to going second phase on how to use IDE. What are the uploads? What are the actual uploads? If you don't know how to use the IDE, what are the essential tools that you need to use IDE when you're uploading any data to Arduino boards? Generally, not only Arduino boards for R3 you'll use. There's so many. They keep on changing every given time, and you'll find very good products with Arduino. And you'll build some good sensors with low-cost solar panels. You'll be able to do an inbuild of batteries whereby you can charge, and you'll be able to use, and they'll be very productive. So when I'm using a power bank for Arduino, it is slightly bigger because it can run for about 30 days without charging, because the provision is 5 volts. And you'll find the smallest power bank you'll get, it's about 10,000 or 5,000 milliamperes, which is way too big still. So in your local shops, you can still get those batteries, whereby you can get them in your countries, and it is as little as about $10 or $5. Even you can get at $3 if you're getting a lithium battery for about 200 milliamperes, which can take you about 3 weeks even without charging. Once you charge, you take it to the field, and you keep on monitoring on how you use it. So let me look on setup on IDE. So after the session for IDE on how you add libraries and how you use the software, we'll be able to allow you to power at least the LCD, the plant hours with you. Yes? Okay.
Sensor monitor be connected to electricity. That's one. Two, we actually came here with something that looks similar, but it's not here right now. We left it in the hotel room. But that one stopped working since 2021, after the solar panel in my office in Port Harcourt, Rivers State, Nigeria. got bad and all that. But we just refixed the solar now, and we came with it to see if anything can be done around that and all that. I believe tomorrow we'll be coming here with it. So I don't know if anything can be done. Whether it's similar, I don't know. Maybe one will see on that tomorrow. Then for the other question, the light thing, can it be connected directly to light?
The answer is yes. Because you just need an output for 5 volts, which is very minimal power. You just need to use an adapter. You can use your computer, USB port, and you'll be able to collect good data with that. For the solar panel, you can be able to change the charging module. If the charging module is not working and the battery, the lithium battery has power, it cannot work. You can also find a fault on the charging mode, the mode of charging. There's power, but there's no power which is being transmitted. So, depending on the nature of the enclosure, is it an IP66, which is a watertight, that you can expose it anywhere, you're good. You can use it anywhere. On the top of those enclosures, these are just components which I've just put together. The casing is not so good because it's for demo, but you can make it better, the same enclosure, and you make sure it is an IP66, which is waterproof. And you can take it anywhere and collect very good data. And you can compare with other few sensors and do some calibration. Yes. So we are going to go through on how IDE works. So the first step, you open an IDE. I'll just be very fast. The first step, you'll open IDE Arduino software. You'll find this, a blank page that you need to do a lot of hard work. You make sure you write the codes, the right codes, and how you write them. So the first step that you do, you need to connect your sensor with your laptop or your board. So that you can be able to establish the sensors, the communication port. So I think that is a sound of communication. That's a foreign object, the computer. Let me check something. So this is Arduino COM5. And then we go to the tools. And to look for port 5, Arduino, we select. After that, we go the same place, Arduino. Go and get board information. So that is the board information that you are getting, and that is what you'll work with to communicate to Arduino. And then you need to select the board that you're working with. There are quite a number of boards that you can be working with. There's Arduino Uno, Arduino Uno, Arduino Uno Mini. There are quite a number. I can't name them all. There are more than about 70. We have versions that they've been used before and they're out of the market. They're no longer being used because they've been replaced. You can make anything with Arduino. You can make sure you build a small weather station with Arduino. You make sure every data which is recorded, every data which is being provided, you just establish one screen and you make sure that one screen is well connected with those Arduinos. communication of Arduino and communication of ESP8266, they go hand in hand. Communication of those components, you can always find them online. Whenever you have some challenges, you can find YouTube, because we cannot have the entire session whereby I'm going to take you through the entire process on how, because there are few challenges whereby you are unable even to see the board provided. Yes. So my board is Arduino Uno, and we can go to serial monitor just quickly to check how the data is being provided. So this is the same data that is being stored in the SD module card. On the lower part, I don't know if you can zoom. On the lower part, you'll find data. On the lower part, you'll find data saved to SD. So the blue LED, if it stops blinking, I understand either my memory card is full or the data is not being recorded. For this provision, I've just used an RTS, real-time clock calendar, and I've used an IDE Arduino, and I've used an SD module card, and a small breadboard with two LEDs. So in these measurements, I'm doing measurements for temperature, humidity, pressure, and estimates for altitude, because they cannot be so precise. So in this data, regardless of the space that you have, you can collect as much data as you wish. So most times, we have few sensors that you'll connect them to serial monitor inside the IDE, which they will not reflect what is being recorded, depending on the nature of the code that you did in writing. So you go to tools and then you say manage library. So that's another page which is very basic when you're using Arduino. Here in the library, I'll get all the books that I need, or all the academic resources that I need to input the accessories that I'm using. So if I'm using a BME, I'll just type BME 280. So you can see BME 280 has some certain libraries, but you'll go for only the essential parts. Don't pick. If you're doing a project in temperature and humidity collection, you can check the very basic BME libraries that you need. The most basic one is Adafruit. Once you install the first one, which is very essential, the others, if the code requests you to do it, to add more libraries, you'll be able to add it. So this is it. I will go to 2.21 version. This is the latest version, and say install. So I did a few setups yesterday, and it seems there's an update every given time that you use IDE. You have to keep on checking on the updates whenever you're working with IDE. So if you're looking for plant tower,